Hey everyone, Bob here. This time around, I would like to give you a lesson regarding to feed raw materials requirement procurement plan. And this is based from the study or the planning that I had in my previous video regarding the poultry business plan, which I had in my first sheets right here. Uh, it's a 2022 poultry production business plan, which I said I was gonna produce 2,500,000 birds or broiler chicken in 10 houses. So I had 10 houses as my assumptions here. Then I said I'm gonna grow it at 45 days and gonna have a flock of 50,000 five crops per year, and total birds to grow per house. Okay, and I also indicated here all the parameters, all the requirements to grow the broiler chicken, which is the target liability. DOC means day old chick requirement, feed requirement, contract grower partner, cost to produce, processed chicken, etc., and cost of goods sold or COGS. So I have indicated here the gross revenue and the net profit. So right now, I'm gonna proceed our planning skills by doing the requirement on feeds right here, feeds. So going back to the new sheet, I have for your convenience, I have already prepared the template here, which I said total birds will be produced is 2,000 that we're going to feed is 2,500,000, and the total feeds that we're going to produce is 10 million kilogram of feeds. Okay, so in order for us to be able to feed our broiler chicken, we need to produce our own feeds. Okay, either we're going to have a business partner who owns the feed mill plant, and then we're just gonna pay them the what you call toll processing fee. We're gonna pay them the fee per bag of fish that they're gonna produce for us, or we're gonna build our own feed mill plant and we're gonna produce our own feeds. Okay. Okay. For the feeds, we need to produce the starter crumble feed, the grower crumble feed, and the finisher pellet feed. We're gonna do all this uh, uh, requirement, and this is the we're gonna we're gonna get the formulation which I had also prepared earlier, and we're gonna be basing our planning for the feed production based on the based on the feed formulation that we had earlier. Okay, so uh, this is the template that we're gonna use. So we'll see what we're gonna come up with. Okay, let's start with the starter crumble feed. We're just gonna get the all our ingredients. We're gonna get it from the feed formulation. We start with the the starter crumble feed. Okay, the maize, and then just click it and enter. Okay, we got the maize, and we just pull this down in order for us to copy all the rest of the ingredients that we're gonna use. Okay, just a disclaimer. This formulation based on the standard that we're using to formulate and to produce our own feeds. This is not the actual the formulation that requires for uh, any uh, broiler chicken production requirements for feeds. So you can actually this is based. You can actually get your own feeds formulation by having your own nutritionist or by doing your own research and product development or research development program. So you're gonna most likely you're gonna hire a nutritionist to, you know, to formulate your own feed formulation. Okay. So also at the same time, the price per kilogram is not. I'm just using these prices which I had, which I had it from the current prices in the internet or from the Google. So you can also have your own prices depending on the location where you are, or your business location, or the region, whether you're from the West, you're from Asia or from Southeast Asia. So prices could be different. So I'm just using this template or these prices in order for us to be able to to plan our feed raw materials requirement, okay, including the procurement plan of our ingredients or raw materials. Okay, so you just utilize this template, and then you use your own whatever price that you get from the market. You use them for your own planning of the feed production. Okay, so for the kilogram formulation, we got it also from feed formulation from second sheet. So we'll just get this from here. The first one is the maize or the yellow corn. It is 61 kilogram in the formulation for the starter crumble feed. Okay, then just enter, and then just pull it down to get the rest of the kilogram, to get 100 kilogram formulation. Okay, so these are the share per ingredients. Okay, like for maize, you got 61 kilogram. For soybean meal, you get 18 kilogram. For the wheat, some businesses or some broiler production, they use red winter wheat, and most likely they get it from the US, get it from Argentina, or somewhere else, like also in China. Okay, but most of the time these materials are imported. You're getting it from overseas, from other countries. Okay, we need to have our percentage for each of the ingredients in the formulation, so we're gonna get it. So it's easy. Just divide the kilogram by the total 100 kilogram, like that, and we're gonna fix it. We're gonna put it as a absolute cell reference. So we're gonna press the F4 function in your keyboard, like that. Then just enter. Okay, so we can copy it down. Okay, just pull it down all the way down. So we get 100%. One is 100%. So for the maize, we are going to include 61% in our formulation, 18% for soybean meal, uh, 4% for the wheat, soya, bone meal, lysine, and the most important in the ingredients is that we're getting the nutrients that we're getting, the vitamins and minerals. The cereal grain is very important in for our broiler chicken feeds. We need also required, aside from the grain cereal, we also need things like protein. Okay, amino acids. Okay, that's why we need to include the like, for example, the lysine, methionine. Those are the ingredients that we can get the important nutrients, like the amino acid or the building blocks of protein. No, the maize, where we're getting our starch, our proteins, our oil, fats and oil, B vitamins, folic acid, or vitamin C, and other minerals like phosphorus, okay, or rather phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, zinc, copper, iron, and selenium. Uh, Okay, so we also have the premix where we're going to, to mix our vitamins and minerals because these are micro materials that we need to, to mix first, premix before we mix it. We batch it with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get the total ingredients. The total ingredients is we're gonna get the volume coming from the poultry business plan, the first sheet. Okay, so we're gonna be working on the starter feeds. So we're gonna get the volume of the starter feeds. Okay, where is it? Starter feeds kilo in terms of kilogram. Total feed requirement kilogram. Okay, so what we have is this is the total feed kilogram. What we need is the starter. Okay, because we're gonna work on the starter. The next we're gonna be working on the grower feed, and then the last one would be the finisher feed. So first thing we're gonna get the volume of the required weight, total weight of the fish that we're gonna be producing for the starter feeds. So it's 2,500,000. Okay, that would be our total. Okay, that would be our total ingredients. Okay, 2 million, but we're gonna, we're gonna. Okay, I'm gonna fix it with the F4, and then I'm gonna multiply it with 61%. The maize is only 61%. Actually, the maize is the biggest chunk of the formulation at 61%. And the next one is the soybean meal at 18%. So just multiply it by that, 61%. Then you have a total ingredients requirement for the maize of 1,525,000. Okay, we can just drag it down to cover everything else, all the rest of the ingredients. So the total is 2,500,000, as just like what is indicated in the poultry business plan. If you haven't seen my previous video regarding the poultry business plan, I'm gonna attach the link of the video in below in the description so that you can watch the poultry business planning first before you watch the feed production planning. Okay, so you understand better. Okay, as you can see, I have already included the price per kilogram here of every ingredient, so no need to, you know, for our convenience. Okay, then I'm gonna get the price per ingredient. So what would be the price per ingredient? You just multiply the price per ingredient, multiply by the percentage of the ingredients, just like that. Okay, in order for us to get the uh, the price per kilogram of our the feed that we're gonna produce. Okay, just again drag it down. So for the starter crumble feed, we're gonna be spending 18.19, either in pesos or in rupees, for every kilogram that we're gonna be producing, and based on our formulation. Okay, if you're gonna compare it with the commercial price that we used previously in our business poultry plan, like this one, see, okay, starter price per kilogram is commercial is 36. We're purchasing our feeds from the market, from commercial. So this is the price per kilogram. And the total cost per starter is for every house is 8,980,000, and the total would be 89,800,000. Okay, so we're gonna find out later whether we're gonna be saving money out from producing our own feeds, or if we produce our own feeds, we're gonna be spending more money. Okay, let's find out. Okay, so right now we can see that uh, it looks like that we're saving some money here. Okay, because the price per ingredient for the total for the formulation is 18.19 per kilogram. And the commercial that we're buying, okay, is 36. But you will say that, okay, the overhead is not included here. You know, the production is not. This only covers the raw materials, the cost of the raw materials. Okay, but the overhead is minimal also. Like I remember previously, I was paying around 15 pesos for, you know, every 50-kilogram bag produced by a business partner. You know, toll processing fee that I was paying. That was 15 years ago. Let's say it was double. Let's say 30 pesos right now. Okay, so this is bag. So we're still going to you know, divide that by 50 because I was paying for the 50-kilogram bag. So it means paying for the production of the starter feed is only about 0.6 of peso per kilogram. So you add that to to the 18, that would be still very minimal. So we're really saving some money. We'll find out the total cost later. Okay. So for the total cost of the volume that we're producing, you convert that to money. Okay. So that we know how much we're gonna spend or how much we're gonna plan for our financial budget. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're just multiplying this one, the price per kilogram, multiply that by the total ingredients. So our okay, what I'm gonna do is, in order for us to still see the first column, I'm gonna freeze this one, the column. Just click the view, then the freeze, and then freeze the one column. Okay, so we can go to the right and still able to see the first column. Okay, so we're having a 19 total cost 19,184,500 for the maize or the yellow corn. Okay, then let's see. We'll drag it down. Okay, so the second one, the biggest chunk of the budget or the cost is soybean meal, and the third one is 9 million is soya. Which one next? Methionine, the wheat also. Okay. So these are so we need a total of 45,471,000, either rupees or pesos, to, you know, to prepare to budget for our starter crumble feeds. Okay. Why starter crumble feed? Because uh, crumble in the form of crumble is much you know, efficient. We don't have much losses in terms of wastage. You know, because, you know, the chicks, especially the younger ones, you know, the first week or first you know, the first 3 days, 5 days, 1 week of you know, feeding our chicks or our broiler. You know, the chicks, they're choosing which one to pick, you know, which one to eat. Usually they are looking for the yellow corn because of the color. It's yellow, and you know, if it is in mass form, you know, when you are doing a mass production, mass feeds, so it would not be efficient. Okay, because there are lots of ingredients are wasted because the chicks are not eating all of these ingredients. Unlike if you're going to pelletize the feeds and then crumble it. Okay, pellet is good, but you know, the younger ones, the younger chicks are not able to eat because it's bigger size. So what the feed production companies doing is, you know, they're they after pelletizing it, and the feeds, the pellet feeds goes through another process, which is through the crumbling machine, the crumbler, to you know, to minimize the size, you know, to reduce the size rather. See, so that's why we're not producing So most of the companies, broiler chicken production companies, they're not okay. They're not feeding their chicks with the mass feeds anymore. Okay, but you know the swine production or maybe the cattle production. Okay, they're feeding with them with the mass feeds, and they're mixing it with some grass feeds. Okay, but in the case of chicken, most of the companies are not using the mass feeds to feed their chicks anymore. Okay, so that's why here in our starter we use scramble feed. Okay, now we're gonna calculate the monthly volume so that we'll be able to this would be the basis of our planning the financial budget. Most of the companies are doing monthly financial budget. Okay, so the getting the volume, knowing the volume would be very important for us to be able to come up with our monthly financial budget. So it's easy. You just get the total ingredient. Okay, that one, then just divide it by 12 months. Then, okay, there was a problem. What's that? Maybe okay, 12 months. Okay, all right. So, we have indicated 127,083 kilogram of soybean, or rather maize, per month on the month of January. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna you know, pull it down to get the total of 208,333. The total as per formulation, the total kilogram that we're going to be producing every month. Okay. So this is the monthly budget in terms of volume that you know, we're gonna have. We're gonna for the basis of our planning for the financial budget. Okay. What I'm gonna do is okay, we're gonna produce the same the amount of volume every month from January to February all the way to December. So we're gonna just copy them all the way to December, but we're gonna fix the cell reference, no, the ingredients, because we get it from the ingredients. Okay, okay, we're gonna fix that. So the cell location was D8, so we're gonna put an absolute cell reference there, F4, then enter. Okay, then press F2 for our edit, and then go to the D9, then that would be the cell reference, then press F4, enter. Then F2 for edit, go to the cell reference, then press F4 again. That's it. So to the next one, same process. Okay, enter. F2, F4, enter. F2, F4, enter. F2, F4, enter. F2, press F4, then enter. Then the last one would be F4, enter. Now we'll be able to copy it. Okay, we're gonna pull it all the way to December so that we're gonna have the volume the rest of the months. Okay, it should be the same. Okay, so that should be the same. All right. The next one would be the cost per month. Okay, what this is the in terms of volume, in terms of kilogram. Okay, that we're producing every month. So we need to find out how much money do we need, the cost per month. Okay, it's easy. You just multiply the volume any of the month. Okay, because they have the same volume anyway. So no problem. So I'm choosing December. Then multiply that by the price per kilogram. This one. So okay. So for the maize, which is the yellow corn, in the US, they're calling it yellow corn, but in other countries like in Europe, in the Middle East, they're calling it maize. Okay, but it's the same. They also understand. You say yellow corn, they understand. Okay, So just pull it down, pull it down. Okay. So this would be our budget in terms of the financial budget. Okay. So per month we need to prepare 3,789,250 uh, either pesos or rupees. Okay, for our monthly budget. Okay, now we're gonna be talking about the inventory. So we need days to last. You know, what is days to last? The requirement that we have in the inbound warehouse. We're gonna for our stocking requirement, we're gonna stock in terms of how many the how many days the stock is gonna last before we're going to procure again. No, make the necessary arrangement for the procurement process. Okay, like the raising of the PR, the purchase requisition, and then process the approval of the PO, purchase order, and then getting the LC. What is LC? LC is letter of credit. This is the procedure that we're doing when you are importing materials from overseas, from abroad. Okay, if you're purchasing materials from yellow corn, for example, from the US, from Argentina, from China, you need to process the LC, letter of credit. This would be a bank-to-bank transaction. Okay, so you need to consolidate the load. Okay, you don't want to be, you don't want your load to be underutilized. Okay, you want 100% of your load. That's why many companies here locally, they're doing consolidation load, or they're consolidating the load so that the price, price per unit will not go up. Okay, if you are having a 100% utilization of your load, of your cargo, yeah, let's say for example you're buying yellow corn from abroad, then you need to fully utilize your cargos, your vessels. Okay, so if you are not you don't have enough load to you maximize your vessel, then you have to consolidate with other competitors, with other integrators, so that you will be able to come up with a maximize the load and come up with the 100% of the load. Okay, if you're using multimodal transport, like shipping, using the barge, or using land transportation for your for your containerized load. Okay, we need to you need some time. You need to prepare for the days to last, for you to be able to to come up with your inventory. So for example, for the maize you need 90 days. Okay, you have to have a stock of 90 days in your inventory, because you need time to procure materials from overseas. It takes time to get your materials loaded in the ship, and then the ship will come to your country, and then maybe it will take 1 month, or maybe more than a month or 2 months. So you need 90 days for your stock. So you don't want disruption of your production operation in producing your feeds. You don't want disruption because you run out of your inventory. So you need 90 days inventory, or days to last. So this is also, soybean meal is also imported, so you need 90 days for that. And soya as well is also 90 days. There are four ingredients you need 90 days inventory. And for the rest, like the bone meal, lysine, methane, premix, salt, and others, okay, you only need 30 days, because this is can be sourced locally, domestically. You can purchase it in local from local dealers. So maybe you have accredited dealers. You can purchase these materials from them. So you only need to prepare the time for the processing of the PR, the purchase order, and you don't have to to process the LC because this is local. Okay, the LC is only for importation of raw materials. Okay, and from getting it from the what they call custom clearance. You have to clear it from the customs in the harbor to get your materials, to load your materials to your company inbound warehouse. Okay. And also, the premix can be sourced locally, or they can be okay. No need to add this. This is just the inventory days to last. So, what we're gonna do is, in order for us to determine our operating capital, we need beginning inventory. So the first time for this year, for example, how much inventory we need in order for us to be able to produce our requirement, and then wait for another for the buffing, rebuffing of our materials for the next procurement overseas. So right now we need our beginning inventory. So we're gonna find out how much we need. So okay, just the month volume, we need to multiply that by 3 months because we need 90 days buffer stock. So that would be 3 months. Okay, so we'll just copy that, the rest of the 90 days to last. Okay, for this, you only need 30 days buffer stock. So we only need to copy that here, and then you pull this down. Okay, so you need to have a stock in terms of the volume, 625,000 in your inbound warehouse, okay, or in your dry warehouse where you're having your stocks, your raw materials. It may be in bags and poly bags, like for example, premix is in poly bags, but the maize you can have it in bulk. Okay, you store it in your silos. Either you have a concrete silos or you have a what you call steel silos. All right. So now we're gonna determine how much money do we need to 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 budget for the first quarter procurement, or for the buffing of our stocks in the warehouse. Okay, it's easy. You just multiply this by the price so that we know the money in terms of money, price per kilogram. So that this would be our operating capital. Every quarter, we need 4,796,125 for the yellow corn. Okay, so just pull it down in order for us to get the total. So for the starter crumble feed, we need 11,367,750 money that we need to procure the materials for the first quarter. And then we need the same money unless the prices go up. If the price is still the same, no increases or no reduction of prices, then we're gonna plan the same amount of money, which is 11 million point 367. Okay, just for the starter feeds. Okay, so this is what we need right now. Okay, we're gonna get the requirement for the grower crumble feed, and then next to that is the finisher pellet feed. So that will be able to get the total amount that we need to plan for our business in producing our own broiler chicken feeds. Okay, so I have, for your convenience, for our convenience, I have already prepared. I have already transferred the formulation from the other sheet, and in terms of the kilogram, okay, and also the price. This was the basis of our poultry business plan in my previous, you know, in my previous video. Okay, so grower price per kilogram commercial, that was 35, 36 for the starter, and 33 per kilogram for the finisher feeds. So in terms of money wise, uh 89,000, rather 89,800,000. And for the for the grower, 131,700,000. And for the finisher, 123 million. Okay. Based on commercial price per kilogram, 36, 35, and 33. Okay, let's go back to the feed plan. Okay, that's why here the commercial price per kilogram for the grower crumble feed is 35 pesos or 35 rupees. So let's plan out the ingredients. Okay, what are the ingredients that we are going to plan for? This would be our reference in terms of our planning for the procurement and our financial budget per month. So we're gonna get it from the other sheet, the poultry business plan sheet, which is this one. Okay, or this 3,750,000. This is the grower total grower feed per kilogram, the volume. Okay, we're gonna multiply that by the percentage. This one. Okay, this would be our volume because we're using more maize in our formulation, 67%. Unlike in the starter, we only use 61%. So therefore, in terms of the total ingredients, is more. In terms of total kilogram for yellow corn, it's more compared to the maize that we're using for the starter crumble feed. Okay, just okay, just the same steps. Just okay. What happened? Okay, this is the problem when you are not using the absolute sale reference for the because the poultry business plan volume of the maize grower crumble feed requirement, we have not, this is coming from just one cell location. So you have to press F4. Okay. Okay. So, and then pull it down. Okay. We have the right. Okay. 3,750,000. Let me check whether it's 3,750,000 kilogram of requirement, okay, of the ingredients, okay, total ingredients based from the formulation that we have earlier. Okay, so I have already prepared the price per kilogram, so you don't have to input that, you know, we save time. So we're just going to calculate the price per ingredient. You just multiply that by percentage, and that would be 8.43 rupees that we're going to spend for the maize based on the 67% formulation. And for the soybean meal, we're going to be, we're going to be spending 5.46 based on formulation. All these are based on formulation because we multiply this based on the percentage. So the total price per ingredient for the entire formulation is 16.43 rupees. Okay, compared with 35 rupees. Again, we're saving a lot of money here. Okay, if we produce our own, we purchase our own raw materials. Okay, we'll talk about the overhead cost later. The overall cost to produce. Okay, because we're talking about the raw materials only here. Okay, the total cost would be the total ingredients multiplied by the price, and that would be our total cost. And then what would be our total cost to produce the grower crumble feed is 61 million. This is higher compared to the 45 million of the starter starter crumble feed. Now we're gonna get the monthly. Well, just the ingredient divided by 12 months. Okay. Then, okay, let me move it to the right so that we'll see much clearer. Okay, then move it down. Okay, just the same. We're gonna fix the absolute sale reference, F4, okay, F2, F4, Okay. You have to make sure that it's double dollar sign. Otherwise, you're gonna have an error also if you only single dollar. Okay, F4. Sometimes you make mistake, you delete one of the dollar, then you're gonna have error and when you copy it and paste it to another location. Okay, then it's easier if you're doing this way. Okay, it's much quicker if you're doing this way before you paste it to the other months, to the rest of the months for your monthly, because this would be your basis in your financial budget. Okay, and then you just pull it, pull it all the way to December. Okay, okay, so we got it right. Then how much would be our cost? They just multiply the month. Any month you can pick, then multiply that by price per kilogram. So that would be our cost per month. And then yes, copy it down again. Okay. And then days to last, the maize is again imported. There are, okay, locally produced maize, which is for the landed cost, the landed cost from the farms, from the farm gate all the way to your warehouse. That would be the landed cost. It's much cheaper if you purchase it overseas. The landed cost is much higher because of the shipping cost that you're going to pay, multimodal transportation cost that you're going to pay. So, but the problem is in terms of availability. Sometimes, everybody wants to use maize for their animal feed requirement, or and not only in terms of broiler, but also swine production, beef or cattle production, cow, and maybe goat, or maybe any other and the other animals. So they're also using maize as well as human consumption. People are also eating the corn during their breakfast, or for their meal. So that's why uh, more often than not, we run out of stocks locally. That's why most of the time we're also doing importation of these materials, including the wheat, the soybean. Okay, but in terms of bone meal, there are lots of bone meal local production of bone meal. Bone meal is actually coming from the byproducts. Let's say you're going to debone the broiler chicken, the whole chicken, the frozen or the fresh chicken. You're going to debone it. You're not gonna, throw away, dispose in the garbage the bone. You're gonna sell the bone for, they're gonna grind it to convert it to meal, because these bones are going to be mixed with feeds. Not only bone in terms of the not only the bone, but also the feathers. They're grinding it. So feather and bone meal are very useful, and you know they are the source of calcium, phosphorus, those minerals. you know so very important, essential nutrients for your feed formulation. Okay, so you can do it. You can purchase it locally, and the rest of the materials. Okay, only the grain materials are sourced overseas. Okay, now let's just like what we did earlier. Okay, we'll just uh the month multiplied by 3 months. Okay, then let me pull it to the right. Okay, then all the rest of the 90 days to last. And this one, okay, just like what we did earlier also. Okay, just transfer it. And then again, copy it down And for our operating capital, so that we know how much we need, money that we need, just multiply this. Sorry. Just multiply that by already suggested E21. What is E21? Let me find out. Okay, let me enter it. Okay, E21. What is E21? Is that the price? If this is the price, then that would be okay. Price per kilogram, that's okay. Okay, Google Sheet is right. Okay, and then pull it down to copy everything else. Okay, we're gonna be needing 14,494,375 rupees to be able to produce our grower crumble feed requirement. Okay, this much higher compared to 11,367,750 of the starter feed. Now the last thing that we're gonna do is the last feed. Okay, we're gonna be producing our last feed. So again, we're gonna get the poultry. It's 32. I don't think that's coming from M32. So I think that was M35, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. Yeah, this one. So M35, I was right. So Google Sheet was wrong. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fix that also. F4, then multiply by percentage. That one. So we need 2,475,000 kilogram for the yellow corn for finisher pellet feed requirement. Okay, and then cap it down. Same same amount of volume with grower. Okay, so the price per ingredient is, I think you're wrong, so I'm gonna do it myself. Is, yeah, this one. Price per kilogram. Sorry. Okay. I don't want you suggesting me this. It is D34, which is total ingredients, multiplied by E34. I don't think that's correct. Yeah, E34. Okay, that's correct. Okay. Wrong. That's why I've told you. See, sometimes Google Sheet is suggesting wrong. Price per ingredient is this one. I'm getting confused now. Okay, this one multiply by percentage. Okay, that's correct. Okay, that's correct now. Okay, I'm gonna pull it down. So the finisher pellet feed per ingredient, the price is higher or compared to the grower crumble feed. So it is 17.52. Okay. And then we're going to get the total cost, which is equals price from total ingredients. That's correct. Okay. And then copy it down. Why is this like this? Why it is 1 million? Price per kilogram, total ingredients, multiply. Okay, that's okay. That's correct. Okay, so we need 65 million. Okay, now we're gonna find out for the total cost of the starter crumble feed is 45 million, 61 million for the grower crumble feed, and 65 million for the finisher feed. So a total overall, total of 172,805. So how much did we have in terms of the feeds that we bought commercially? I think it was about this one, 344 million. Okay, total feeds, total cost. Because our plan in a poultry business plan, we base it from commercial. So it's this one, right? So that one, I'll make it bigger. Okay, it's too big. Okay, so let's see how much we save. You minus that by 172 million. So we save half half of the amount from the commercially purchased feeds if we produce our feeds, our own feeds. Well, usually overhead is around 9%. So we'll just multiply this by times 1 point what 9%, including the direct labor is 1%. I'll make it 1.10. So how much is that number? All right. So let's say the overhead, I'll make it 12, make it bigger. So the overhead was, including overhead rather, raw materials plus overhead, which is 10%, 9% overhead and 1% the direct labor cost. That would be 190. Okay. So the commercial feeds that we purchase from commercial minus this one, including the overhead, which they are still saving 154 million. Okay. Whether you own your feed mill plant, which I have included here, the 10% addition to the overhead and direct labor cost, still you save money. Even if you enter to a business partnership, like somebody else own, some other company own their feed mill plant, and you're paying the toll processing fee, we are still saving lots of money. That's why it's important that you know, we try to produce you know, our own feed requirements. Okay, we produce our own feed requirements, whether it's through what you call business partnership, toll processing fee, or you build your own feed mill plant. Okay, the only difference there is capital expenditure, the capex. You need maybe 100 million, 200 million rupees, to build a plant, depending on the size of the feed mill plant. 10 metric ton per hour capacity, rated capacity, or for the 10 houses, we need 10 metric tons per hour capacity. But if you want to double it, 20 houses, you're gonna double your revenue, and you need 20 tons per hour rated capacity of your feed mill plant. Okay, and you put you factor in the the fixed asset, the depreciation cost. Okay, even if you factor in the depreciation cost, it will still be cheaper. Okay, and it takes 5 years for payback if you build your own feed mill. Okay, 5 years is scheduled 100% ROI, or return on investment. Okay, it will still be cheaper. Only you have to do is you just prepare maybe equity 40%, maybe 100 million rupees that you're going to, you already own the land. What you need is this capital expenditures to build your own plant. Okay. So let's see how much per month we need. Total ingredients divided by 12. That would be 206,000 kilogram for the maize for finisher feed requirement. So it would be 312,500 total requirement. Okay, same procedure, same steps. We're gonna fix the F4, F2, press F4, F2, F4, F2, F4, F2, F4, enter, F2, F4, enter, F2, F4, and enter, F2, F4, and enter. Okay, second to the last. Okay, and then the last one. Then F4. Okay, then we can now, you know, drag it to the right all the way to December. That one. And then cost per month is multiplied by price per kilogram. Enter. This would be your cost per month for the maize material. Okay. You need 5 million per month, 475,359 rupees as compared to the 5,135,000 for the grower feeds. Okay, again, let's go to the days to last. This would be 90 days. DTL, 90 days. And this one can be locally. In India, there are lots of groundnut cake, brewers dried grain. Oh, this is good source of proteins and proteins, maybe some vitamins from this material. So these are available local production. So we'll just copy all the way down to lysine. These two, methionine and lysine, are a good source for amino acids, the building blocks of protein. Then let's now calculate our beginning inventory, the month multiplied by 3 months for our LC processing requirement. It takes some time to process. There are only two materials that we have for the finisher, the maize and the soya meal, and all the rest are local. So no problem. You can just transfer this and then copy it down again. Then the money requirement, our budget for the first quarter for finisher is that one multiplied by E34. E34 is what? E34 is price per kilogram. Oh, that's correct. Then copy it. Okay, we need 13 million, a little bit lower compared to the grower. Okay, the total requirement that we're gonna have is 39,691,828 for the money wise, the budget that we need for the first quarter. Okay, so you just multiply that by 4 quarters, then you get a year plan. Anyway, you don't have to do that because you already have that here. Total cost, so 172 million. Okay, this is the per volume per month. Okay, so I think that's about it. I think I have covered everything in as far as planning our feed raw materials requirement procurement plan. We need to plan our volume, the weight in terms of tonnage or in terms of kilogram, so that we'll be able to come up with budget, with money, because we are going to budget our own. If you're going to produce our own feeds, whether via, via business partnership, where somebody owns a feed mill plant, and then we just enter into agreement for a toll processing fee, and we're still saving money. Okay. If we have the capital, we have the equity, then we can build our own, and we have available land, with this, it is a non-performing asset. Okay. We can utilize our land by putting our own feed mill. Okay. So for you to understand this exercise, you need to watch the poultry business planning from the first sheet that we have, this one. You need to watch this in order for you to, because we're doing the plan for the poultry, the broiler chicken plan. Then we also we just did our feed raw materials for our feeds, no? Requirement procurement plan in terms of the volume and in terms of the budget. Okay. So that's all I get for you today. I hope you like this presentation, this exercise that we're having. This is actually for your planning skills. Okay. For your planning skills improvement. You can use your own data in terms of the price, in terms of your formulation. I'm just giving you a template on how you're going to plan for your feed requirement, and that's all I can do to help you out in your, in your planning skills improvement. All right. So if you like it, then please subscribe, and don't forget to hit notification bell so that you'll be notified of all the updates of my new videos. And thank you for watching.